Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing an all-day wear test. Now I've done a first impressions on this foundation, but a few of you requested that I actually do an all-day wear test. So today I'm going to actually do that for you. I am going to go in with my one size primer. I think this is one of the best primers out there right now. It's really good at smoothing everything out and smoothing my pores. So I'm just going to go in with like a pea size and just put that all over. All right, now I did pick up the shade Amaretti. I did have cheesecake and that was way too light on me. So I went ahead and went with the shade that I do know works for my skin. And I'm going to apply this today with my Juno sponge. I have been loving this sponge for applying foundation and I really love it with this foundation. So we're gonna go ahead and apply the foundation first. Now normally what I do is I go ahead and do my eyes first, but today for the sake of this video, I wanna go ahead and show you the application first. And then what I'm gonna do is go ahead and go on about my day and then come back on camera later and let you know how the foundation worked out. All right, so it's 9:36 right now, so I'm gonna try to wear this foundation as long as possible. I haven't been able to really try this foundation out for a long period of time. I've worn it maybe like 4 hours, maybe 4 to 5 hours at the most, but I wanna wear it for a long period of time today. Normally what I've gone in with is like 1.5 pumps because this foundation is very full coverage. It looks like it has a thick consistency, but it really doesn't. It goes on really nicely on the skin. It's very lightweight, so I like that about this foundation. I'm just gonna apply it on my face. The times that I have worn this foundation, guys, I have loved it. It's done a really good job as far as making my skin look flawless. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my sponge and I'm just going to press that into the skin. And you'll see right off the bat that this foundation has very, very good coverage. Now it looks a little yellow right now. I know it looks weird, but eventually this foundation kind of just melts into the skin and it becomes like my skin tone. So right now it looks a little weird, but in the end, it's gonna look really nice. I do bring it down on my neck. I put a little bit on my ears, but today my hair is going to be down, so it really doesn't matter. No one's going to really see my ears. So that's how one pump looks. And as you can see, it has a beautiful finish and a beautiful coverage. It's more of like a natural finish to me. It's not so matte and it's not super luminous. It's more of a natural look and feel. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with half a pump just in those areas where I need a little bit more coverage. And I still use my Tarte Shape Tape with this foundation because I like to tweak that area where my hyperpigmentation is. So I go in with just a little bit. I don't use that much. All right, so you can already see how beautiful this foundation looks on the skin. It just has like really good coverage. It looks very natural. To me, it has like that healthy effect to it, you know, where you put on makeup and you look fresh and healthy. And I actually love it more than her original. I feel like this one just melts into the skin way better. It doesn't look cakey. It doesn't look heavy on the skin. Even though it's full coverage, it feels more like skin, if that makes any sense. It's just a very nice consistency. So I've really been loving it when I apply it and when I've worn it just for that little time that I've worn it. So we'll see if I love it as much at the end of the day when I've worn it pretty much all day. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and finish my makeup and then I'll see you guys at the end of the day. I decided to go ahead and do a quick check-in. It is now 3:25 p.m. I've had the foundation on for almost 6 hours. I did want to do a quick check-in because I want to show you guys what I'm experiencing with the foundation. It's not a big deal, really. It's pretty much to be expected because this happens usually when I wear pretty much any foundation because I don't have a primer that really mattifies. I'm in search of one, but I don't have one right now that really stays matte throughout a long period of time. So I do want to show you guys right here on the sides of my nose that I do have a little bit of oiliness seeping through, but overall my foundation looks absolutely beautiful. I love the way it looks. Makeup is still on. It looks beautiful on the skin. Still has that really beautiful like natural look to it. But like I said, it has gotten a bit oily here. And I do see it maybe slightly creasing right here, but not much at all. So yeah, so this is where I'm having some issues. It might just be because I use the one size primer for my entire face. Maybe this doesn't work as well with that primer in my T-zone where I'm a little bit oily. Normally what I do is I put on my Revolution, what is it called? The Pore Perfecting Primer, because this one does mattify me a little bit and it does keep my pores in check. But I will say that that one size primer really diminishes my pores. That foundation goes on it really well. I'm not really complaining about my pores at all. I'm really not complaining about anything, to be honest. It's just a little bit of oil seeping through on each side of my nose. So I want to go ahead and just take a tissue and I want to gently just pat that area where it's oily or where it's getting oily, because it's not really that oily. Now it did come off on the tissue. I wanted to show you guys that it is coming off on the tissue, a little bit of the product, not much. But now that I've done that, it looks fine. It doesn't look bad at all. Now I will say that I was wearing a mask today. I wore one to go have brunch with my dad and the foundation did transfer on to that mask. And I know it's the foundation because I use the one size translucent powder and this doesn't really have any color to it. So I know it was the foundation that's actually transferring on to the mask. So yeah, so I would not say that this is transfer proof, but I will say even though it transferred onto the mask, it looks amazing. It really does. So I am going to go ahead and run some errands and then I'll come back and do my last check-in, and I'm gonna wear this foundation for about 8 hours today. So I'm gonna wear it for another couple of hours and let you guys know at the end my thoughts and how well this foundation played out for an 8-hour day. All right guys, so this is my last check-in. It is 5:38 in the evening. I've worn this foundation for 8 hours. So before I get into my final thoughts about this foundation, I do want to mention there are 39 shades in this foundation. It does retail for $40 on her website, and I'm sure it's $40 on Sephora as well. I do want to mention that right here what it says is that it's a new and improved faux filter. It has full coverage and long-lasting properties, and it's also 24-hour flexible wear, and it has a luminous matte finish. Another plus is that it's fragrance-free, which is nice. You're not having to have a scent that is going to annoy you. So it's fragrance-free, which is a great thing. And then it says here that a true filter effect gives instant coverage so seamless that it immediately unifies skin tone and texture as it blurs skin to give a radiant finish. The non-cakey formula is life-proof, waterproof, super long wear, which is 24 hours, transfer proof, fade proof, sweat proof, humidity proof, no matter what the weather, occasion, or situation. It says faux filter luminous matte will never let you down. The packaging itself is plastic, just like her old packaging of the original foundation. And then of course it comes with the pump. This also has 1.16 ounces of product, which is a little more than a normal foundation. So yeah, so I wanted to bring those points up. It did say waterproof, which I was not able to test today. I will be testing all of that during the summer months or when it gets warmer. But right now, you don't really need to test the waterproof portion of it unless you're at a job where you're gonna get wet all the time or you're in an area where it rains all the time. So I was not able to test the waterproof portion of it. I did test the transfer proof. Again, I wore a mask to go run errands and it has rubbed off from my nose onto the mask. There was makeup on the mask, so it is not transfer proof. That's one claim that I was hoping it was gonna have. I wanted it to be transfer proof. Of course, we all want it to be transfer proof because we're living the mask life right now. So yeah, so it's not transfer proof. And then as far as 24-hour wear, of course I didn't test the 24-hour wear, but I did test the 8-hour wear for you guys, and it did last a nice good 8 hours. Now I will say that it lasted 8 hours with very minor issues, and we'll go over that in just a minute. The other thing was fade proof and humidity proof and sweat proof. Now I have worn this foundation before. When I wore it for that short period of time, I did go walking and I did not have any breakup of the foundation. Now I didn't sweat like profusely or anything like that, but I did have a little bit of sweat coming from, you know, the top of my lip and then my forehead, but nothing major. It didn't really break up. It didn't like fade or anything at that point. So if you're gonna do like a light exercise and you're not gonna be like running with this foundation on, I think that you'll be okay. I will say after wearing it 2 more hours that I continued to get oily here on the sides of my nose. I did get a little oily on my chin, but nothing major at all, guys. I'm looking to see if it's broken up anywhere. there and it hasn't. Now I did eat today and I really thought a lot was gonna come off my chin and it did not. But yeah, I'm looking here where my laugh lines are and they've creased just slightly, nothing major. But the makeup is still on, guys. The bronzer, the blush, the powder, everything just looks really good. I really like the way this foundation performed. I think it's a beautiful foundation. It does have a very natural look to it. I don't think it's like radiant or luminous. I just think it looks really beautiful on the skin. So I would say this, because I'm combination oily. So I am normal on the perimeter and oily on the center of my T-zone. And I would say this, I would say a majority of the people can wear this foundation. I would say even if you have oily skin, that you're only gonna get a tad bit oily, because I do get oily here a lot. So I would say that if you have oily skin, you're probably gonna have to carry some blotting paper, or you're gonna have to carry like a blotting powder. But I don't think it's a big deal. I honestly don't. I'm looking at it, yes, I'm a little oily, but it doesn't bother me. So like I said, I think a majority of people can wear this foundation. I think dry skin people could wear it because it has more of a natural finish. It's not matte at all. It doesn't look drying. It doesn't look cakey. So yeah, so those are my final thoughts for this foundation. I hope you liked this review and this all day wear test. I'm so glad that I could finally do it for you guys. I've been so busy here and there and I hadn't had time to do an all day wear test with this, but today was the day and I finally got it done for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. So take care, be healthy, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.